Hey everybody, welcome back to Old Bearded Gaming. We are carrying on with our hardcore run here of medieval Minecraft. So much to update you guys on. We've spent a little bit of time away, just kind of progressing a little bit, getting a little deeper in our mind, getting situated with a few things. And I've come across so many just interesting and fun aspects of this mod pack that I felt like, okay, it's time that we do a little update video here. So as we join into the world, we're going to take stock of kind of where we're at, what we've got going on. First thing you'll notice here is that we are underground. So I set up just outside. We've still got our little temporary home here. Again, I don't want to make this too much of a permanent thing. But who knows? We may expand this out, build. There's quite a bit of space out here. Let's go ahead and sleep and just progress into the daytime, so we can maybe better see where we're at and what we've got going on. So we built a juicer. This is kind of a neat little thing, honestly. What it does is it produces one thing, and I wish this was expanded in the mod pack a little bit to be able to do a little bit more. Since there are a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables, we could really get kind of creative with this. But it produces apple juice, which gives you a tiny little bit of a speed boost. But that's not why we made it. It makes a stackable version of a liquid that you can drink to be able to get hydration back. And as you see here, we've got our copper kettle going. We always kind of have that around. Super nice to have, but being able to take stuff on the go, if you're going to be kind of going out exploring or dungeon diving, and you want to make sure you've got thirst covered, we need something else. Now there are flasks that we can make. We can make a call it a canteen of such to be able to store a few sips of water purified, but this seemed like a kind of a neat little niche to be able to fill. I don't know how much it actually stacks up to. I haven't made more than just a few, but it definitely is very handy to have. Additionally, we've also got some additional campfires. Campfire cauldron to be able to bring, and with our infinite water bucket, our batter wucket, as it were, we're never without. So we've definitely got that around. We've got a little bit of sugar cane, kind of going here. This is again just kind of handy from the perspective of we need the sugar to be able to make that apple juice. So there we go. Down underground, we've got a little area carved away here. We've got some smelting to be able to go on over here. We've got some ores, we've got some ingots, lots of good stuff here. We carry the raw gold with us in case we come across goblin traders that like to spawn underground. They trade for more than we're able to smelt with, and that's just until we get down to the deep slate level, where we'll be able to make a forge controller. And if we take a look here, the deep slate brick forge controller is a tier 2 forge, and this goes in a very particular configuration. We will build one. It's not going to be today, at least I don't think so, but what that allows us to do is be able to forge alloys. But at its purest form, the tier 2 one will take 2 raw materials, right? So 2 of these raw gold, you put them side by side, and instead of producing 2 ingots worth, it actually doubles it, being the tier 2 one. So very handy to be able to pump out additional resources for us. The trade-off, I think, right now is it's like 2 of the raw gold for 3 ingots from the goblin traders when they do spawn. So hopefully one spawns during our playthrough today. They're kind of neat to show you. They're very cool to kind of have pop around. That, and they can trade for some really kind of neat things. So these are all different things that I've traded for: ender pearls, some blaze rods, from these goblin traders for emeralds. And as you can see, I got a bunch of emeralds going on here. So we're sitting pretty flush with that stuff. In fact, as I'm thinking about it, we need to go out and get some more apples. The goblin traders love apples. It's 1 apple for 1 emerald, and these things come in just massive spurts. So in fact, I see some over here, so we're going to go across over this way. As we're heading that way, a couple interesting things of note that I've learned as I've been playing around. Inadvertently, I did some damage to a guard in town, and the wand that I have here, these things are great. You can do a command S spells list, and it'll show you what spells you have. So we have Dream Warp, which is a fantastic spell. While you're holding the wand, you click right click, left click, right click, and it will teleport you back for the mana that you see above our hunger bar there that converted to mana when we put the wand on. It will teleport us back to the last place that we slept at. Super, super handy. Arcane Barrier, which is kind of neat. That's right, right, left. So that looks like this. Puts up a little impenetrable barrier. Although I say impenetrable, I did have a baby zombie go through it. So, but I think it's because I kind of cast it right on it, so it was stuck inside of it, so it was able to come out. But I think if I had gotten it down faster in front of it, it definitely would have stopped it. This is handy in the caves for sure. And then our other spell that we have is Lunge, and this is kind of a great mobility spell, but it does damage, and this is where we accidentally hurt a guard in town. It does damage when you cast off and then when you land, so it's able to propel us pretty good distance. But again, it does damage around you. I think it's just a 3x3, and then again when you land. Very, very handy, as you can see. Yeah, we can get around. It can work vertically as well, so it's got a lot of utility. But we kind of like popping it a lot because the way these wands work, it's pretty simple recipe to get one. You just need one of these little amethyst shards. They're pretty common in chests that you can find out in the fields, if they're not mimics, and a couple sticks. But it starts out with no experience points and a plus 50% mana cost. Now, mana cost is kind of important, and there are two different mana systems in this game. So if you take a peek here, in fact, let me put the wand back on. Now you see that these down here, this mana is related to the wand. There's also this mana over here. This is for a different system, and that works for something that's called the Channeler, as well as other magic weapons and whatnot. But the Channeler is also important. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little later. But for right now, yeah, no, this little wand, we want to get leveled up. We've been using it a little bit. We're about a quarter of the way there, just so we lose that 50%. Call it debuff, not really debuff, but extra expenditure. As you can see, casting Lunge uses 3.5 of those little mana ticks. And there's other spells as well that are really kind of great. Solar Strike is a big damage spell. It's an AoE. Does a lot of damage to undead, which is really great, especially if we find ourselves a nice zombie spawner. And there's just a whole bunch of other things. There's a healing spell that works really well. Heals for at least about half our life, if I remember correctly. But when the cost is down, you get a couple of those to have in your back pocket. You can really go toe to toe with a lot of dangerous stuff and be pretty fair off for it. So just want to get a few more here. Now we are using. We did figure it out, and I think we figured it out by the end of last episode, but the way that the axes work for cutting down trees is it's got to have enough durability. There's a coyote that'll come after us because they are hungry. Your axe has to have enough durability to be able to cut down the entirety of the tree, and the tree needs to be less than 100 logs. So long as those criteria are met, the whole thing will come crashing down, which is great. I want a few more. I want a stack to be able to trade with. I think he caps out somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40, 45 or so of these apples. But the apples are great food just to have because what you can do, they actually go in your trinket slot in your face. So it will automatically eat, which is pretty darn handy, actually. Give me that. Thank you. Cool. So now we're actually gonna warp back. Let's see here. Right, left, right. Boom. Now you see it says we're a bit worn out. This spell, because of the 50% penalty, actually drains the entirety of all of our mana and then some. Now when the and then some happens, it's going to take it away from your health. So it can be a little dangerous if you just are casting, and you're going over. You absolutely could kill yourself. It's definitely a possibility. So cool. So we've got some goodies. Let's get back in the hole here real quick. Oh, my story. I'm sorry, I got long-winded there. So as I was saying, we had done some damage to one of the guards in town, and found out that the guards are not synonymous with the villagers. So the iron golems that are all about town could care less that I was attacking one of the guards. In fact, when I killed the guard, all of his gear dropped. Which then brought up another interesting thing, because at one point in time I had walked across and saw a guard that was all sparkly. And I don't know if I can find him again. I think we'll take a peek here. So handy for getting over fences. We're going to make just a quick round around the village here and see if we see a guard that's wearing diamond armor. Would be super convenient and easy because we can just get ourselves behind a fence, as long as he doesn't have a crossbow, and take him out. But I'm not really seeing anything here. But if you're in need of super early game gear, the guards can be killed. They don't seem to, so long as they're kind of apart from each other, they don't seem to really help one another too much, at least not from far away. So they can be lured away, set a trap for them, etc., to be able to get a hold of whatever they're wearing. Cool. Okay, so we've got, again, we've got quite a lot of stuff going on here with materials. There we go, here's gear. Just kind of keeping supplies kind of around, keeping things sorted so we know where things are. I'll hold the wool up there. I thought I had one with just, oh, here we go. We'll put these in here with nature stuff. Okay, cool. And we're down again. I think I built, yeah. On down here, we've got a watering station. And just top ourselves back off. Cool. So, some other interesting things with this this mod pack. We were talking just a moment ago about the channeler. So, let's see if we can find a piece of ore that this works for. We just started getting a mine going here. But what this does is it will instantly mine the block and then give you 2 of that resource for a quantity of mana. And the mana quantity changes based off of what type of ore it is. So we found this neat little area. It's just a small little dungeon room that had a zombie spawner, so we blocked it off. We've got it available for us to be able to set something up to come here and farm. Which is pretty cool once we're getting into the world of needing experience points to be able to do stuff, which hopefully is not too far off. Let's see, let's head on down here. We've explored, like I said, a fair bit. We're just now at the negative Y levels. There's another geode over there. Gotta be careful because there's a lot of mobs that had like mass spawn down in here, which made me think, well, maybe there's some spawners or something, or we're coming across some sort of a dungeon area, but that didn't seem to be the case. There was just a lot of them. Let's see here. I don't think it works on silver. No. So no harm in trying the Chandler, but you can see in the menu here. Whoops. There we go. What it'll do. So it'll convert sand into various dusts. It will convert logs into planks. It will turn redstone ore into dust. From iron, it will give us 3, which is pretty good. Raw irons for it. From gold, it'll give us 2. Copper, it'll give us 4. And those are really kind of the big uses for it. It'll also turn solid blocks of gold into these glint steel, which are used for a couple different crafts. But you get some additional emeralds, and as well as additional diamonds. Until, obviously, you're able to get your fortune enchantments going on stuff. So that's an interesting dude wearing a crown over there. Not sure I want a piece of that guy. to be perfectly honest. Although part of me is all like, yeah, I do. I don't have a offensive spell, and I just put the bow away, so I don't really have a way to attack him at distance. But boy, he's wearing some gold armor and stuff. Let's see, what do we got? Do I have anything I can block him in with? Not really. Let's get a couple pieces of blocks here. Actually tough to work. Okay. Where to set it up at? That actually, there's no way for him to get two up here. Okay. This should be okay. Now let's see if we can get his attention. This might be the end of us. I don't know. I don't know what this guy's got going on. Oop. Told you that thing's handy. Put our weapon back on so we can use our shield. Okay, so I need to set it up so that he can't shoot us. But I want to be able to get at him. Let's see here. If I can lure him over this way. Oh, where'd he go? Must have gone way down. I think he fell in the hole over there. Let's see. Manually top off a little bit here. Get some of that health back. There he is. Ooh, got one by me there. Boy, he doesn't want to leave that area there, though, does he? Come on. Ooh. Come on, dude. Keeps losing aggro. There he is. Ow. Alright. Alright, come here. Oops. There he is. Boy. Wish I had a heal spell right about now. It's okay, we're just gonna hang tight for a sec. Let this heal up. Oh, crap, he went across the way. He didn't like not having line of sight. Okay, we're going to need range. Well, by the time we come back down, he will just spawn. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. That's okay. Well, it's still a hardcore run. We are still being a little cautious about things. I'm finding stuff has like just a lot of health. Disproportionate to kind of, I guess, if you want to call it beginner levels or whatnot. It's definitely interesting to see just how many hit points some of these things have, even for very simpler stuff. Very interesting. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's still over here or not, but we found a dragon. I say that very, very, very carefully because it looked at me funny and took away like a lot of my health in just a second. And it wasn't even near me. So I'm going to guess there's obviously a breath attack that just wasn't rendering on my screen when I came across it. He's on the other side of this little overhang here that we're coming up to. He's green. I don't know if he's still down here or not. Oh, there's movement down there. No, that's a bat. That's a bat, but he could have gone up and out. He could have moved down around. We tried to get down close enough to be able to see it, get a health bar on it. And even poking through a half slab hole, he was able to do damage to me. So I just kind of backed out of there. But I don't know, either he despawned or he's moved on. But it was, yeah, interesting to realize that there's dragons. So yay for dragons. Coming back this way, let's top off a little of this. Spell casting with the wand makes you thirsty. I have noticed that. But we have an interesting little structure down here. And it seems to spawn a lot of these guys. There's a couple spawners worth somewhere around. But you'll see they just kind of keep coming, these corrupted vindicators. With this glaive, we've got enough reach to be able to kind of safely poke at them from distance. Again, another good, very simple little mob farm, although they spawn full health and we're doing nothing to take away any of that damage, so there's some opportunity here to definitely make this better. We could dig down underneath, make a drop, get some water going, etc., whatever. Traditional sorts of stuff, but yeah, this is a thing. This exists. Not really worth spending too much more time on. Let's head on back up. Head on back up. So yeah, so we've got a couple projects that are in mind. Obviously, building the forge is going to be one, just so we can get pretty flush with resources. We're going to want to go out and find, and let's take a look at the map real quick. I don't think I've come across really any. There's a little up here. I think that is lava. To be able to go, oh, there's definitely some over here though. Okay, just a little further. We're going to need to get some obsidian so that we can get ourselves a portal, get over to the nether. We're going to need some resources from over there to be able to make some things. But one of the very cool systems that exist in here, and actually there's quite a few, but has to do with XP storage, which is kind of neat. Now this is usually more kind of long running. I guess call it playthroughs where, maybe not in a hardcore setting, but you want to be able to bank experience points so you're not losing it when you die, sort of thing. I'm more interested in getting this built so that we can somehow be able to produce, and I don't know how the mechanics of it all work, but be able to produce these XP berry seeds, which we can then plant. They then produce berries, which, give us experience points. So I'm kind of curious to see how all that works, but this requires this soul copper ingot, which also requires us to have a end level forge, but it takes soul sand to be able to mix it together with copper in the forge to make this dust that we can then turn into these ingots. With enough, we can make these blocks and craft the other various things that are necessary for all of that. Additionally, I want to be able to get a dark enchanting table going. For those that are unfamiliar with this, this is a absolutely amazing enchanting table, and I have checked. This does contain all the enchantments that are outside of vanilla, so everything that's in this mod pack you can purchase through this. What this does is it gives you a menu, basically, of every enchantment that exists, and gives you a hard numerical instead of level based experience quantity that you need to spend to be able to put it on, an item that you put in the table. So you get to literally just hand pick the enchantment you want. You don't have to worry about anything else. It's super, super cool and great to have. And there are ways to set up and build, but it's going to take a lot more crying obsidian, which right now I don't have any. So we're going to need to find some ruined portals. And then maybe there's some additional sources of crying obsidian. I'm not sure. I thought that you could put a regular piece of obsidian out with a lightning rod on it, and when lightning struck it, it would turn into crying, but it actually turns into weeping, which is different and not used in this recipe. So I was a little bummed about that, um, but you can build a kind of a shrine around this to be able to get discounts on what it costs to get those enchantments. So it's a regular enchanting table, and then all of this, kind of around it. But this is what's really going to kick off this hardcore run, because then we will be able to get gear, get it, full enchanted up with just the best of the best stuff, and be able to really just kind of go. So looking forward to that. I also need to get a flying mount, and I've seen them around the villages. There's definitely a couple that are around here. I think they're over across, up over this way to the northwest. These just beautiful, beautiful birds, and I don't know that I have the book. Oh, I do have the book, Mythical Mounts. Here we go. So this book, you just take a regular book and you use it on any mount that's tameable. And the one we're looking at here is a Zarpatak. It's a flaming bird. They actually they drop these feathers that work as a light source, which is kind of neat. But they take a couple golden apples to be able to tame them. And once that's done, then we can get a saddle on them. There is also a system in this game for the summoning staff to be able to bring it back, but we're going to need to get a name tag, which I think I have one. Bells, we're able to pilfer that from in town, and I think I already have a couple. Ender pearls we've already traded for, and feathers are pretty common. So with this staff, we can summon the bird to us. I think there is a range. But just having a mount to be able to fly around is really going to open up a lot of the game to us, so that we'll be able to get out, explore a lot more. Oh, yeah, there's our bell, and just kind of see what's doing out there. So much, so much stuff in this mod pack. Again, just a ton of stuff to dissect and break down. And we've got, like I said, we've got our eyes on definitely getting some good progression going here, getting out of this town, and broadening our horizon. You can see we've ventured out a little bit to just get a little bit of a sense of where things are, kind of around us. Haven't really come across anything too spectacular yet in terms of dungeons or adventuring things to go dive into. We've been spending a lot of time, like I said, underground, just digging it out and getting ready. But like I said, I'm excited. Just wanted to give kind of an update on things, let you guys know where we're at and how it's been going. So again, progress is being made. We're doing pretty good. We will check back in with a new video once we've made some more significant progress again on the agenda. I want to get a flying mount, get that handled, so we can start really venturing out and get the components necessary, again, by scoping out and finding these ruined nether portals to be able to get enough of that crying obsidian to be able to make the dark enchanting table, because that's going to be a total game changer for us. So until our next update, I appreciate you guys hanging out and seeing what we've been up to. This is Medieval Minecraft with OldBeardedGaming. We'll see you guys again next time. Cheers!